All right, let's tackle a huge question for any SaaS business out there. How do you make sure your emails are actually helping you grow instead of just getting lost in the noise? We're going to break down the most powerful email segments you need to be using. Let's get right into it.
So let's start with a question I want every SaaS marketer to really ask themselves. Are your emails actually connecting with people, or are they just more clutter in an already packed inbox? Because let's be real, sending one generic message to your entire list, well, that's a strategy that usually ends up speaking to absolutely no one.
And this really lays out the two paths you can take. On the one hand, you've got the generic broadcasts, which almost always lead to low open rates and, you guessed it, more people churning. But on the other hand, you have targeted segments. And that's where the magic happens. That's where you see engagement and retention start to climb, just by sending the right message to the right person at the right time.
So why is this so incredibly important for SaaS companies in particular? Well, the answer is actually pretty simple. Your users are not all the same. They're at completely different points in their journey with you, and they need different things from your product.
And what's great about this is how it shows you just how diverse your user base really is. I mean, just think about it for a second. You've got brand new users on a trial versus your loyal paying customers. You've got admins who care about billing and reports, and then you have the end users who just want to get their job done with one specific feature. Each of these groups needs a totally different conversation. Okay, so you get why you need a segment. But what are the most effective segments you should actually build? Let's go through the most essential, high-impact groups you can start creating, like today. First up, and you could argue this is the most important one of all, is your new signups. This is your golden opportunity, that small window of time where you can make an amazing first impression. For any user in their first week, your one and only goal should be activation. You've got to get them to that aha moment, and fast. This means you need a killer welcome series, some really practical onboarding guides, and maybe even a quick video showing them exactly how to use your most valuable feature. Next up, let's talk about a segment that is all about conversion, your trial users. These are the people who are kicking the tires, trying to decide if your product is really worth their money. For those users whose free trial is about to end, your goal is crystal clear. Convert them into a paid customer. You can do this with some gentle upgrade nudges, show them powerful case studies that prove your value, and maybe create a little bit of urgency with a well-timed limited offer. But what about the users who've just gone quiet? This brings us to a segment that is absolutely critical for cutting down on churn, your dormant accounts. These are the folks who haven't logged in for 30 days or more. Your goal here is simple. Either win them back, or at the very least figure out why they left. You could try sending them an update about a cool new feature, a simple "we miss you" campaign, or even a proactive offer to get help from your support team. And man, the possibilities from here are so powerful. Think about segmenting your biggest fans, your power users, to ask for referrals. Or what about targeting free users who are about to hit their usage limits with a perfectly timed upgrade offer? You could even find users who love one of your features but haven't even touched another and send them a quick guide. Every single one of these is a huge opportunity. Okay, so creating all those powerful segments we just talked about, power users, upgrade-ready users, it can feel a little overwhelming, right? But this is exactly where having the right tool is a total game changer. Let's take a look at how simple it is to build these inside Mailmodo. It really boils down to 3 simple steps. First, you give your segment a name that makes sense. Second, you add your conditions. This could be based on user properties, like their plan type, or their behavior, like which features they've used. And finally, and this part is key, you save it as a dynamic segment. That means it's always up to date automatically. So let's walk through a real example. Imagine we want to build that upgrade-ready segment. We'll start with our first condition. We'll just tell Mailmodo to look for any user whose plan property is set to free plan. Easy enough, right? But we don't want to target all our free users, just the ones who are most likely to convert. So we'll add a second condition using and. We'll tell the system to also check for a specific behavior, that the user is getting close to their usage limit. See, now we're getting really specific. And just like that, by combining those 2 simple rules, Mailmodo creates our new super valuable segment. Anyone who's on the free plan and is close to hitting their limits automatically gets pulled into our upgrade-ready users list. And that's it. Success. In just a few clicks, you've built a powerful, automated audience that you can now target with a perfectly tailored campaign. It really is that straightforward. So you've built your segments, you've got the automation running.
But what does this actually do for your business? What's the real-world impact on your growth when you get this right? Well, the results can be pretty dramatic. As you can see here, a generic campaign might get you a 15% open rate if you're lucky, but a well-segmented campaign can easily triple that, just because the message is actually relevant, so people want to open it. And it goes way beyond just open rates. What really matters is the impact on your bottom line. Companies that really master segmentation often see a conversion lift of 20% or even more. That means more trials becoming paid plans, more upgrades, and more revenue. Now, to make sure you get these kinds of results, here are a few best practices to keep in mind. Always keep your segment definitions clear and simple. Use a mix of user data, like their plan, and behavioral data, like what they do in your app. Make sure your segments are always up to date. And most importantly, always personalize the content for the specific group you're talking to. So let's bring it all home. For any SaaS business that wants to grow, segmentation isn't just some nice-to-have feature, it's absolutely essential. And as we've just seen, a platform like Mailmodo takes away all the complexity and makes it simple to do it right.
The final takeaway is this: stop sending emails that speak to no one and start having targeted conversations that drive real growth. If you're ready to segment smarter and send better emails, you can try Mailmodo for free or book a demo today to see it all in action.